My name is Ken Harrell. I'm the Vice President of IT for U.S. Oral Surgery Management. I'm in charge of all of our practice technologies. So anything happening in the practice is under my team's responsibility.
How long have you been working with the solutions team?
I've been working with the solutions team for about 2.5 years. It was one of the first MSPs that I came in contact with, and they really stepped in and helped us in a bad situation. And Todd said, hey, we can do a lot of great things. And we called him up one day randomly and said, can you really do it? Because we need someone right now. And he had someone on the plane that morning to show up at the practice. And then on, it's been a great relationship. They now have about 32 practices.
Would you be willing to share a little bit about that tough situation that y'all were in with your previous MSP?
Absolutely. When a DSO comes in and takes over and starts partnering with the practice, there's a lot more demands than typically their local IT are used to. We set up VPN connections. We have these minimum requirements. And some local IT shops don't want to do everything because we come in and force them to do different new things and meet these requirements. Well, this guy didn't want to do those extra things and literally said the words, you make me do too much stuff. And he gave his resignation right there on the spot. And that's when we called Todd and said, hey, can TSD come in and handle the situation? You asked for an opportunity, here's your opportunity. And within 2 days, they had everything set up, and there was actually a server failure. But since TSD had already done the backup, then we were able to get the practice up and running within an hour.
Along with kind of those guidelines, what would you say your experience has been with TST's responsiveness, communication, and overall service delivery?
It is the only MSP that I work with, whether it's the owner, the head of support, the head of projects. I have their number. I can shoot them a text and say, hey, where are we at with this? And I get a consistent delivery response of it's either already resolved and I just hadn't been updated from my team yet, or they can tell me exactly where they are in the process at any given time. No other MSP that I work with delivers the level of detail on a day-to-day basis that I see from TSD.
With US Oral, y'all are across multiple locations nationwide. How does that work with TSC in helping you and your team manage IT across those locations?
That's a great question. And one of the things that we hear from doctors is, are they local? Do they have a local presence? And then I respond back to them, well, do you just sit at somebody's house and wait for them to have a tooth problem? Probably not. So we don't want the same thing from our IT group. We don't want them sitting there waiting for a problem that's way too expensive, way too difficult to manage, and it leads to a lot of downtime. So what I want is to be right-sized for how we operate. Is somebody going to be there and handle the problem when it occurs? And I'd rather have 13 people handling multiple locations that can hop on and help at any given time than one person waiting for a problem to happen. What I tell people when I talk to a doctor about potentially switching to TSC is they're a national MSP that has a local hometown feel. And because at each locations, they look for local contractors to help out, it's actually a positive impact of local footprint. So you're the only customer TSD has when you work with them, even though they have a lot of customers.
With that, what would you say to another business leader who is considering working with TSD but hasn't made the jump yet?
I'd say look at your total cost of ownership. A lot of people like to look at the monthly cost of things. Look at what the services that are provided and look at what your current MSP upsells. One of the things that I love about TSD is they're not coming in and charging me $2,000 for a $700 computer. So look at your total cost of ownership, not just the monthly fees. And you'll find that at the flat service rate model that TSD brings to the table is one that's going to win out in the long run.